Hello, welcome back to my channel. So here we go. You are a manager or you're an entrepreneur. You are or suddenly or recently for your great work you get promoted to your managers. And even I have seen a lot of great managers are doing consistently the wrong way of their way they are interviewing people. But here I ask you one thing. As a manager, one of the most important thing for you to make sure that your team always have the right people and they're growing and they're achieving their goals. And they're not, or if you not understand that their contribution in the team is not really important, that means it's still your fault because you don't bring the right people into the team. So as a manager, one of the key things you got to do is about bringing the right people in the team and also give them the right directions. So now here's the point. How do you bring the right people in the team? I have been seeing so many aspects in my life that a lot of managers are doing such a wrong way of doing interview, and they basically don't sell themselves first. They don't sell their company, don't sell their process too, but just thinking about expecting that the top-notch markets talent to join their company. If you're like the top 1% of the company of your country, it's a different story, but there is the other 99%. So if you are like top 1% of the company, maybe the company already trained you on this one, you can skip this one. But if your company is not top 1% and of the company, and this video is going to be very, very valuable, because in this video I'm going to give you a total 9 aspects which practically you can utilize in each of those training program right after this one too. And not only that, I will also give an advice how you can implement each of them, and if you have any trouble implementing this one, also we're going to give you advice too. And not only that, and the last thing I want to say, if you're looking for expecting something really basics, how to interview candidates in a job interview, you can find another video. But because in this video I'm going to give you very good practical aspects one by one, the 9 things you can immediately execute in your training program as well too. And again, I'm telling you that after if you follow this 9 thing, your total training experience, because the way you're going to your interview is to select your people to join your team, will completely change. As a hiring manager, you can be IT manager, you can be sales manager, you can be IT manager, or it could be a sales or operation manager, it could be in finance manager. Doesn't matter, your interview will be world class. You want that right? So let's get started.
After working like last 15 years in IT field, this is what I realized. What is IT? Yeah.
Sure, happen. Thank you.
So let's give a big hand to these student leaders to bring the training to you. Why don't you give the big hand to them?
Number 1, think about your last interview. Do you feel like you talk too much? How much time did you speak it out in the interview, and how much your candidate? So just make an average of your last 3 interviews you did, or if the first time you did interview, just take the data and think about what is the ratio between your talk and your candidate talk. If you see that your ratio between you and your candidate talk is more than 30% or 25%, that means you are talking too much. You need to bring your word less. Probably 2 things you are making, probably you are too much speaking and you're giving too overload of information, which is not creating a great impression to yourself and your company to your candidate. Secondly, you are not giving enough opportunity to speak to the candidates to speak to you so that they can actually convince you and show you all the expertise to the interview. So that means you're speaking too much is such a counterproductive way. So measure how much you really speak. Keep it down to less than 25% and let them speak 75% at least. So that will be good balance for you if you're looking for a really good handrails on that. Number 2, remember, you are interviewing, you are not training. And a lot of interviewers and a lot of young managers or even sometimes senior managers come up with to tell the candidates what is wrong, what is right, and why it is not right. They start getting into a discussion, which is a very good discussion actually. It could be really good, valuable things. But again, you got to remember, you are wasting the time of your candidate and yourself for your 1-hour interview slot, because your main mission is this one, is to assess their expertise and experience to see how they're going to fit to your team. So you should be focusing on that one rather than start to train them by giving them feedbacks immediately. You can give them feedback. Leave it on in the last part of the interview. Give it for last 10 minutes and give them feedback. What you say, this is what I felt. Or if you don't have a time, send out an email, say, hey, that this is the thing I have felt in your interview, I felt like this is my feedback, what do you think? And then you can have a ding-dong conversation in the email, so you doesn't have to be in the interview call to make make it in a situation where you spend a lot of time on your discussions and finally you cannot focus on the all over the skill set questions or behavioral interview session questions you set up for the interview. So remember, you are interviewing, assessing the skill set, how they're going to fit to your team, not about you training them. So this is one of the key mistakes I have been seeing with a lot of young managers, even a lot of senior managers too. Avoid it and you will significantly improve your interview skill. Number 3, like I said, this one, your main thing is about assessing the candidate. You're not messing about training, right? So what are the things? You need to think about what are the assessing skill you are doing into it. So one of the best thing is about like to assess. You should assess them in our technical level. Number 2, you should assess them in the experience level. Number 3, you should assess them about the personality level because they need to fit on. Number 4, you should assess them about the team players. And number 5, I love saying this one, is about the core value alignment. The core value of your team and of your company and their core value, how aligned they are, you should be assessing that one. Is it a conflicting one? Can they adopt each other? And the last one, you think about the culture. Like an example, what's the culture you are promoting in a team? They need to align to them as well too. And probably sometimes your team culture is quite different than your company cultures, but make sure that that person working to your team gonna be part of your own culture you are promoting. So they need to fit to your culture. You can talk about a few of the words about what the cultures they love to work with, and that could give you a great aspect that what cultures you have and they have could be great alignment or not. So align these 6 assessment and you should focus about by multiple question and side question you can design to get a really great understanding about the candidate. This is the Success Booster card time. So question of the day. What is your key takeaway of this video so far? Go ahead and comment below the answer. We'll love to see what is the key takeaway. Science said that when you take up a key takeaway and note it down somewhere, you had a 35% chance to be actually doing it in your life to make it value out of it, which is amazing, right? But hang on, 35% is not enough. You need more, and this is the way I'm going to tell you how you can really make it happen. When you make a set of action, a plan that goes to from 35 to 91%, you can really make it happen in your life. So here we go. So from the key takeaway, what is the key action plan you're going to take, which is you learn from the video to your life, make a plan and commit it in publicly and commit into it. And that's what's going to make sure that you got 91% read that is going to really happen to you. You will be able to make it happen and become successfully achieve your goal. And here's the last possible hack. When you announce something, a plan publicly, your 91% goes to 94% to really make it happen in the real life. So go ahead and comment below your plan in the video sections. We would love to see your plan, and we are 100% reply every comments in our channel. So we're going to see your plan, we're going to comment it, we're going to give you a feedback, and we're going to consult you to help you to make your plan to a reality. And that can go to up to 100% reality happens to your life. And that's how you get your action, key takeaway to action plan to success to your life. And you know what? We're also sitting down here to help you and celebrate your success with you. So what are you waiting for? Let's go back to the video, finish it, and we're looking forward to see your action plan. And let's make it happen to your life, because you can do that, right? All the best. Don't forget to make your plan, okay? Don't forget to make your plan. Number 4, introduce yourself. Like I told you, you really need to sell yourself in your company, but don't make it a whole life story for 15 minutes of time. Make it 2 minutes, create a really pitch decks about exactly like the top-notch sentence you're from. You can even write it down in your computer, you can put it down in your phone, and you can really refresh one more time. You can write down the bullets you want to speak about. So just make it 2 to 3 minutes, introduce your company and yourself, and make sure that what is your positions, what position you're interviewing, and why you are interested in having this candidate in the conversation. That could be a great starter to introduce and start off your great ice-breaking conversation. Like I said, this one, it should be selling your company, selling yourself, and also be a great icebreaker too. But it should not be more than 3 minutes, maximum 4 minutes. And then you let the candidate speak, because you are there to listen. You are not there to speak much. Because you don't listen means you cannot assess the candidate. So that's a big mistake a lot of managers are doing right now. Number 5, one of the key questions you should always ask your candidate. I love asking this question whenever I'm hiring for VSHR Group or even my CIO. Why do you want to join our team? Why do you want to join our company? And tell them to explain this one, what really motivated them as well too. And a lot of the time, a lot of candidates are giving a lot of vague signs and vague statements, and that is a really good flag for you to really assess. I'm not saying that you should not just hire them because of that not good answer, but that could be one of the answers you should consider to see that one, how they really made a research and going to make effort when they join your company. Number 6, send all the details of your positions and your company and the product to the client, to the candidates, to let them read on board. Because don't spend any time to explaining on your companies and your product during the interview, such a waste of time. So because you need to assess that if they're really interested to join your team and like your product, they're going to study it and they will be able to. So ask about, tell me more about what you understand so far about my company. Tell me more what you understand so far about the product. So that would be a really great aspect. Don't judge them, but understand them where they are in right now. So send them the really information, then and ask them the questions. So that is one of the key things will help you to understand about what much they have understand about the product. And then you can put down in the last 10 minutes to talk a little bit about what kind of products, what is your KPIs, because you're gonna, in the last thing, you will let them allow the question anyway, right? There will be tips about this one I will be asking to as well too. And you can explain more about your product after they speak it out immediately, or you can leave it in the last part too. It's your wish, that way you will design your interview. Number 8, ask them about your past experience and the stories. This is one of the things. You always will be asked them about, okay, particular that company, what was the problem? What was the thing you have been doing? What is the key project did you deliver? Tell me the story. The candidate always would like to drag you to the future, which is great. I mean, there will be some futuristic question, you should be there, but also you want to hear about the stories about the past company, because that will show you that how they really solve the problem, how they face the problem, and what kind of really expertise project they have deployed, so they can really bring you that kind of experience on board. Because maybe you don't have that experience right now, and that experience can be valuable for you, and that could be one of the measurement for you to choosing multiple candidates to the right candidate to joining your team as well. So number 8, I want to really say this one. You already get the information about the company and the product you bought them. So now you ask them the question that what they have understand about the company. So that is one of the things. Design 2 to 3 questions, one for the company, one for the particular products you want them to be on board. Ask them the question what they have understand so far, and what are the opportunities they see in the product. That could be one of the great aspects for you to interview them on board moving forward as well too. And number 9, let them ask question. The last 10 minutes of the interview you should be leaving it down to say, hey, do you have any question for me? You can ask. So you should be saving the 10 minutes for that question, and you should be asking 1, 2, 3 questions. If somehow they have more questions, you can always tell them, okay, send me out an email after the right of the call. I can give you my email address right now. This is my email address, and I'm going to get back to you. And then you really get back to them. Even you don't want to hire them, if they send you out the questions, you should be answering, because you are not hiring them because they are not fitting to your team. But however, you are a professional and you are a hiring manager, you should give them a really good answer the right way. That will show how good and what is the standard you are, and what standard they're not meeting. That's why you are not bringing them on board. So do not make that mistake. So here you go. You are a new manager, a hiring manager, as a sales manager, sales director, or whatever role you are in. I give you 9 tips. Use this one, and that will significantly improve your interview skill and bring the right talent for your team. Here you go. You got what you need. If you have any kind of advice, questions about this one, or any kind of challenge you are facing to select the right candidates, go ahead and comment below. I'll love to give you an advice. In our channel, we answer 100% of the questions. If any comment if you put there, definitely myself and my team are going to answer your questions. So definitely you're going to get the advice, what we are promised all the time. 100% support by replying to our any questions inquiry maker. So here you go. You got what you need. Now let's use this one in your interview process and bring the best talent for you and become successful. All the best.